Welcome back to another episode of the Betterment Podcast, Pursuit of Infinite Growth. And today's a special anniversary. Also got my partner in crime, Sara.
That's right.
Today is, drum roll.
Did we plan that?
Nope. It just fell that way.
Wow.
1 year since we started this podcast. Today, October 12th, 2024.
Woo, woo.
We started an episode, and I think it was just me, but we'd already obviously been dating for some time at that point. But yeah, 1 year in.
Wow.
16 episodes, not as many as I would like. Well, this will be episode 16, so 15, but a little bit more than one a month. Mm-hmm. So.
What was your favorite one?
I really, honestly, I guess to just get right into it, I really liked episode 4 when I talked about like quitting solar. At the time, like I feel like that was probably my most vulnerable episode. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I'm back in solar now. I appreciate it. I have a new perspective. But at the time, I felt like I was pretty nervous to put that out there that I was quitting, with all my friends that were in the industry and be like, what, are they going to judge me? What are they going to think? But I actually got a lot of good feedback and made some good strides along the way. So, yeah, that episode's good. I'm probably going to rewatch that one.
Mm-hmm. A lot can happen in a year.
You can.
You were a different person from that episode till now.
Oh, yeah. Very different. Very different.
Quarter life crisis.
Some would say, babe. Some would say. So, welcome to today's episode. Today, we want to go ahead and pop a lot of different, questions and come right back here. Bring up a lot of different topics. And so, today's episode is going to be a little mixture of things that I've read the last couple months, some takeaways I've had with coworkers, some relationship stuff. It's kind of like a jambalaya, if you've ever had it.
It's like jungle juice.
Exactly. It's like a jambalaya jungle juice.
But Betterment version.
Yeah, but don't drink the juice. That
non-alcoholic.
Yeah, 0%, but 0.01. It's like, what's that one brand? O'Doul's, if you've ever drank beer. Anyway, so let's get into it. Okay, so, babe, I'm going to ask some questions of you two. We'll get some back and forth feedback and kind of open dialogue.
Okay.
But just finished reading Atomic Habits by James Clear for the 4th time. So I like this book.
You don't say.
Yes, I do. Really good book for anyone that is trying to look to hence break a habit, do a new one, or kind of have compounding benefits of the day-to-day, whether it's dieting, working out, going to bed on time, reading, studying. This book's phenomenal. But we were kind of reading it yesterday, or you were out here when I was reading it, and one of the quotes that I had that I thought was really profound, and I want to hear what your thoughts are, is at the very end of the book, there's a little appendix where he has maybe a little bit more in-depth or research-backed areas of where he came up with the ideas. But one of the things he says is happiness is just the difference between not wanting something now and, or sorry, I said that wrong. He defined happiness in it as being content with not wanting something in the near future. So essentially I thought about that because it's you think about happiness, well, you're happy in the moment, right? Mm-hmm. Joy is a continuum. Mm-hmm. But he said really all happiness is not having any sort of want or desire in the future or near future. Mm-hmm. Happiness is short-term, joy is long-term. And I'm sure you've probably seen that a lot with your clients in therapy. But I just thought it was really interesting because I think anytime I've been genuinely happy is when I've I didn't want to be after this and I need to go get my car washed, or then I'm going to the party, or then I'm going to buy the car, or going to dinner. It's right now in this present moment, I feel at peace. That's happiness. Mm-hmm. And so in your field and more maybe in your life, what are times that you felt actual happiness, and what do you think was the reasons for that?
I think like you said, happiness and joy, it's so different. Mm-hmm. I do define happiness as overall contentment with life in general, long term. Mm-hmm. And I think I tie happiness to purpose. So if you have purpose in something, motivation, drive, goals, I think that sets the stage for having contentment and happiness in general.
Right.
But if you don't have a desire or drive or motivation or purpose of anything, then I think it's generally hard to find happiness. But the thing with, I feel happiness too, even they're all emotions, and they come and they go. I don't think it's possible for someone to be happy their whole life.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where like the joy comes in. It's like more present based. Whenever something happens, it brings on those kinds of moments. But I think that's also a misconception too. A lot of people think happiness, like in therapy, clients will be like, I just want to be happy all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I hate to burst your bubble,
that's not
but
realistic.
that's not realistic. No one is. Like, emotions they're all together inclusive, negative and positive, all in one. Like, that's part of life. You're going to feel a little bit of everything in different stages of your life. So it's normal, in my opinion, to not have happiness constantly. I think that's just being human, and that's just life.
Yeah. I mean, also, too, it's kind of funny you said that, because that's probably something that you deal with a lot in therapy. It's like you come in thinking you just want to be happy. Like, oh, just fix me, right? Like almost like a physical illness, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm sick, give me medicine.
Cure me, yeah.
Or, oh, I broke my leg, repair my bone. But, like, the brain is so much different than that. And it's a continuum, right? No one's ever just purely happy, but you can have joy. But I think, too, within it, one of the benefits of it is happiness. You feel that emotion because you have sadness, right? There's, like, no light without dark. And so what the book talks about is it actually, like, gives you tangible structures and habits to implement in your day that will give you more progress, which will then fuel you towards purpose, which will then make you feel pride, which ultimately breeds out happiness. So it was like, it's a really great book. I think anyone that even likes to read or even isn't like a huge reader, listen to it on Audible. But Atomic Habits by James Clear, I think it sold like 25 million copies. It's in like 30 or 50 different languages, but really, really good book. But I just remember that one takeaway I thought was like profound. Switching over, though, because we're just jumping around today.
There's no theme to this episode.
There really isn't.
It's like, what's your favorite color? Okay, what do you think is the meaning of happiness?
And somehow they intertwine. I had a friend the other day I was texting, I won't name drop, where they were trying to make a correlation out of something that there was zero correlation with.
Are you talking about me?
No. In a group chat that I'm in, you're also in a group chat with me. I had a friend that I made a joke that had zero like connection, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that totally makes sense." Like, yeah, basically I said something along the lines of like something out of pocket or like funny, and they were like, "Oh, I totally get you, Nick. I love bullet points." And I'm like, "Well, there has nothing to do with bullet points in my joke." Anyway, but they're good people, so you love them anyway. But one of the things I kind of want to talk about as we're sitting here on this couch is the two different personality types, or there's many personality types, but in a relationship, I think that one of the things I've experienced or learned is that I thought that prior to dating you, like, oh, I need to date someone that's also me. And from what I've seen, experienced, witnessed, read, most importantly experienced, because that's really what this podcast is about, things that I've actually experienced. When there's two different personality types in a relationship, I feel like they work way better. And the couple is way happier than when it's the same kind of personality type. I'm obviously not going to talk or name drop any other couples, but I'll just talk about us. I feel like we've become very similar. Like, you're a lot like me, I'm a lot like you. But when we met, we were very different in a good way. Like, I'm naturally more extroverted. You're naturally more introverted. You're naturally more thoughtful. I'm naturally and patient. I'm naturally more impatient and stubborn and used to hold a lot of grudges.
Not once have you been stubborn with me.
No, I know, but just as an individual, like, you know, people piss me off more than they probably piss you off.
Okay.
I mean, we just watched Ed Gein, for God's sakes. It's like shedding a tear for the sicko that's cutting people open.
Okay.
But we'll get we'll get into that. We'll let you claim your case. We'll talk about Ed Gein on this podcast.
That's the next episode, Ed Gein.
Yeah. No, I mean, we'll crack into it now.
It's very psychological. Mental health is my specialty.
Yep.
So to be clear and set the record straight, I did not cry for Ed Gein himself. I cried for the population of mental health and people who suffer from schizophrenia.
Okay, fair.
Just so I can.
We'll get into. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I shouldn't just be throwing smoke at Sarah. The clip's going to be like girlfriend.
It's like we're very
girlfriend
different.
falls
You cried
in love.
for Ed Gein.
Girlfriend falls in love with mass murder serial killer and finds new meaning to life and death. That's going to be the clip. But no, I think that the two different personality types are really important because that's how you grow too. Like, I think, for example, I read a lot, and lately you've been reading more, right?
You rubbed off on me.
Sure. I am big into, like, vitamins and
I got vitamins
gym.
Today for the first time.
Yeah, she got vitamins today. Big round of applause.
And probiotics.
And then for her, she's rubbed off on me in ways it's like, work hard, play hard. Like, enjoy the fruits of life when I do good in the job. You've also rubbed off on me into being more open-minded to, like, people you've worked with in the past, like prison population, schizophrenics. I'm still obviously trying to get there, but we're making progress. But I mean, I want to hear your kind of take on it, babe. Like, why do you think, or in your opinion, why do you feel that two different personality types, like a type A, type B, work better typically than two type A's or two type B's?
Yeah. I think it's good. I think it's good to have a little bit of both.
Sure.
I think what makes us work so well is our personalities, surface level, are different, but the core is the same.
Yeah.
Right? The morals, the values, the way we think and problem solve, it's very similar. So when there is a problem, we never butt heads.
Right.
Because we're thinking the same way. But, like, our personality, do you like sports and I don't? Or, like, you like green and I like blue. You can't really fight much about, like, in my opinion, surface level things.
Sure. Yeah.
As much as you would on a core problem. But I think it's also good to have opposites because it sparks excitement. You know, like, it makes you not bored. You never know what you're going to get because it's so different in a fun, good way because it's not like the core there, like how I mentioned earlier. But if we're the same in every aspect, everything is predictable, it's boring, same routine, gets kind of dull, so the spark can kind of wear off. So I think it's good to be different personality, surface level stuff, but if, like, the core is different, then I think that might be hard for people. And not saying you can't do that. There's no right or wrong to any of this, but that's just my opinion on it. It's good to have a little bit of both overall. Yeah,
I mean, when you talk about, too, like, getting bored, right? Like, that's actually brings me back to the Atomic Habits. They talk about, like, the Goldilocks rule. And it's like when people are in flow state, which is when you're in your most optimal state, you're not thinking, you're just creating, right? You're, like, in a creative state. Is when you're not bored, but you're also not extremely, like, stressed out or burnt out. There are two different mediums to it, and people that get bored easily, right, will give up on something, and people that are extremely stressed out will give up on something. So flow state is like when you have a nice creative level of, like, curiosity and a little bit of pressure, but not so much that makes you give up, and you're not obviously bored. That's why you're curious. In relationships, I think with us, it goes the same way. Like, every time we're together, we have new experiences, we talk about different things, but then we do have our routines that give us a level of structure. It's like variety versus stability in kind of a way. But I think we have a nice mixture of both, which is why it allows us to, like, well, for example, last week we went to church in the morning. This week we stayed in and watched football. A couple weeks ago, we went to celebrate a friend's birthday on the beach.
Yeah, it's
These
never
were all
the same day.
Yeah, and this was a Sunday. Like, every Sunday is different. And we obviously do different stuff throughout the week, but it's not the same routine monotony that a lot of people may enjoy. But for us, I think that's where we rub off on each other.
Right, and I think
sometimes we crash a boat in the bay. Shout out. I crashed a boat. I don't know if I talked about that.
That's honestly one of my favorite moments. And that's, like, your worst.
I was like,
I love the near-death experiences. It brings us trauma bonded.
I was like, babe, get down, get ready. She's like, ready for what? I'm like, the boat's going to flip.
Put your life belt on. Like, what is this?
Yeah, she's like trying to drink a cut water.
I had one sip and that was it.
I'm like, we're about to cut in the water.
Going back, though, to the differences, though, too, what makes it good, in my opinion, is we have what the other lacks. So it's good to have the opposite in that way because I'm super structured. I'm so predictable. And in the sense where you might be kind of more all over, not in a bad way, but, like, you're more sporadic. I can help, like, structure you, ground you down.
True.
But then you bring out that enthusiastic side of me to, like, not play by the book all the time and do something different than I'm comfortable with.
Right.
So it enhances what the other's lacking. And there's no better or right or wrong to that. It's the yin and the yang. It fits well when it's opposite.
What are one or two things that you feel like you've become a better version of yourself dating me?
I think probably therapy helped this with me too, but you were a big part of me reframing things. I look at the glass half empty, and you look at half full all the time, right?
3/4.
I'm saying that right? I'm the one that thinks more negative naturally. So I'll like come and vent to you about something, and you instantly like change my perspective on it. And so I feel like I naturally got used to that too now. So I'm able to reframe my own problems when they arise, and I'm not as stressed or I'm not as anxious, and I look at it from a completely different angle. And I could not do that a year ago.
Yeah.
So I think you really helped me there.
Gotcha, babe.
What about me to you?
I knew you were going to ask that question.
It's going to be something like, you made me like chocolate more.
I was like, I freaking love when you make dinner.
You make a really great steak.
I'm like, when I eat that steak, I just think, man, I couldn't have made this steak without you.
I'm all deep with it.
Yeah. I'm like, I love your hugs. No, for me, there's so many things, but one of the things that really comes to mind is that I think I'm like my own hardest critic. Like, I'm very hard on myself. So though I may be quote unquote more optimistic than you in certain areas of life, I think I'm really hard on myself, which sure everyone is, but I'm like, I didn't close this deal. I didn't make as much as I wanted to. I didn't go to the gym this morning, whatever the thing is, right? And I would say I take a lot of accountability. I can always take more, but you've kind of helped me understand that, like, hey, there's certain things that are outside your control that you can't beat yourself up over. And so basically having more grace with myself, especially as a man, right? Our egos are so big. Like, honestly, they are, especially mine. I'll be honest. Like, I still have a long way to go, but you've kind of taught me how to check my ego in a healthy way of like, hey, the world isn't on you, Nick. Like, there are certain things that you can't control. If the customer gets sick, if it rains tomorrow, if Cooper was throwing up until 4 and you had to go to work at 6, so you missed the gym, right? These are things that are out of my control. And it's funny because I am not as organized as you in some ways. Like, I think mentally, like, I'm way more sporadic. I say things sometimes without thinking. Let's do this, let's do that, right? I'm very like spur of the moment. Like, we were walking today to Ross and there was an acai bowl and I'm like, let's get that. And we just got 2 bowls of acai, which is fun. I'm sure you like that. Like, there's some benefits to being sporadic. At the same token, there also is like a level of structure that you definitely hold that I have to get better at with like thought process and like acting on impulse. But what I was trying to get to earlier is I actually am a pretty organized individual as far as like physically. Like, my clothes are laid out the night before. I write my day out. Cooper's taken care of. I have his doggy bag and whatever, harness and leash ready to go. I have all my customers I'm reaching out to in the day. The door I'm going to knock. However, so we've been joking about this, but it's like maybe I have OCD, like a mild case. Because it's not to the point where, like, if something doesn't happen, I don't have like an anxiety attack. Like, Cooper didn't shit. Oh, God. Like, you better poop or I'm going to freak out. You know what I mean? Like, just yelling at my dog to poop. But if things don't go the way that I expect them to, it does frustrate me, or it like lingers. Like, I should have done this. Why didn't that close? Why didn't I clean that before? Why are the dishes still dirty? Whatever the thing is. And I do need to get better at like just letting things go. Yeah,
and I think that's a human problem in general. Like, and I always tell this to my clients. I'm like, hate to break it to you, but you're not the main character. Yeah. And everyone thinks they are in their brain because it's like we're just programmed to take care and problem solve and look at the bad so we can fix it. We're never looking at our strengths or the things we are doing that's good. We're always looking at the one area we're lacking, or why didn't I do this, or how could I do this better? Right. It's like, but look at all the stuff you do good. So that's how I like to approach those kinds of things. But
why do you think people do that? That's actually something we should dive into. Why do people focus on the one area that's wrong when the 10 areas are right, or 9 areas are right?
I just think that's human nature. I think that's the way the brain is wired on survival mode, to look for problems to solve to survive subconsciously. And of course, it's not like, oh, I didn't do the laundry, I'm going to die. It's more deep-rooted subconsciously than that. But from an evolutionary standpoint, it's innate survival mode. And so we're looking always for the bad to watch out, to protect ourselves, to make sure we're thriving, we're looking for optimal growth. We're never conditioned to just wake up in the morning and be like, oh my God, I have both my legs and I am walking and I am so healthy. Like, yes, we kind of have to force ourselves to be grateful. Props to the people who do wake up and that's their first thought. Like, great, I wish I could do that. But it takes more brain power for us to stop and pause and be like, you know what, hold up, I'm healthy, I'm grateful my family's okay. Because our first thought in the morning is like, oh my God, I'm going to be late to work, or oh, I have too much tasks to do and my boss is mad at me. Like, it's always the negative for instinctual purposes, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like you need to take a moment to have gratitude. But when life gets super overwhelming, you're focused on everything that goes wrong,
right,
even though the majority of things are actually going right. It also reminds me of this book I read, Breaking the Habit of You, by a guy named Joe Dispenza.
Right.
And he said that, I forgot how he said it. Oh, our brain is primitive, right? We've come from like our great ancestors that were primals, literally us versus saber-toothed tigers. So the brain's main job is to keep you safe. It's not to make you feel happy or to feel gratitude. It's literally to keep you alive, which is why you feel anxiety when you talk to the girl that you don't know, or take the job interview, or speak in front of a group of people, or in some sort of altercation. Only 5% of the brain that you operate a day with is conscious. Did you know that?
I didn't, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, 95% of your habits and your day-to-day functions are subconscious. The way you tie your shoes, the way you put 100%. Your clothes on, how you open a door. Like, these are things you don't even think about, but you do it the same way every time.
But I think where that stems from, too, is creating habits, right? And like, when you brush your teeth, you're not actively thinking, oh my God, I need to go brush. We just kind of go and brush our teeth before bed, you know? Yeah. So, what are you laughing at?
No, I'm listening.
You're like, where are you going with this?
No, I like it. I do. I'm trying not to talk over you.
It's been like, it's years of programming, brush your teeth before bed, brush your teeth before bed. So now it's subconscious that we just do it. Same thing with like thinking more positive. I think instinctually, naturally, we're on the negative end, but that doesn't mean you can't change it. I think if you practice every day, gratitude at 8 a.m., every day, put on a timer kind of thing, and habitually do it, you're not going to need a timer anymore. You're just going to do it. That's your first thought. Yeah. So it's habit formation with a lot of the things.
It really is, dude. Yeah, the brushing the teeth, too.
Yeah, you know, like, shut up. It was the first thing that popped in my head that was like, we don't really, let me go brush my teeth.
No, that was actually better than me. Like, why am I talking about opening the door? That's such a weird, like, who's thinking about that? Anyway. But on the habit of brushing teeth, perfect transition talking about men. Dentist. No, I'm like, Sarah's breath. I'm just kidding.
Shut up.
No, it's mine, dude. I always got I brush my teeth too much.
I think we're very hygienic.
We are, yeah. We do. We are clean people. Showered last week. I'm just kidding. So one of the things I actually want to ask you, get your opinion on, Sarah, is what are things that most men in their 20s do now, or that has become like a habit for the majority of men in their 20s, that has made them more soft or ungentlemanlike compared to prior generations?
Okay, good question. Not that I agree with, like, my opinion, I'm just stating what's changed from generations. Not that one way is right.
No, I mean, honestly, give your opinion.
I would
Let's
say...
have the comment section come at us.
The things that come up the most where it's just a noticeable shift, and again, not that it's wrong, but like...
No, I'm looking for wrong. How are we dropping the ball?
Well, like,
Men need to listen to this and say, I need to get my shit together.
But I think this is where, like, it ties into everyone's different viewpoints and perspectives, too. For example, equality, like, money-wise, men and women, right? Like, when you go on a date, first date, a lot of the time you're splitting the bill. You know?
We didn't do that.
You didn't. Yeah, you were traditional with it, so I appreciate it.
Billy's at the beach.
Not that it's wrong, but it's very equal kind of mindset now as the generations have gone, which is good, you know, of course. But back in the day, the guy would no talk about it, like they would pay. Yeah. Or open the car door. Not even a thought they would go open that car door. And not saying they don't anymore, but so many people don't. And it's not like a bad thing, like how I'm saying, again, it's no right or wrong. But I noticed those behavioral differences. It's way more equality, you know, kind of way to treat a woman. Yep.
Do I open the car door for you?
You do. Do I open it for you?
Yeah, you do. One of the good ones. No, I thought about this because I talk to Sarah all the time about how I can be a better version of myself to her. And I know she'll tell you too, but I know objectively I'm a really good boyfriend to her and how I treat her and whatnot. And I think it comes down to the way my dad raised me. But I've noticed in men in general, like, they don't open the car door. Like, they don't carry the items for their girl. And here's the thing that I also like to kind of swing back the other way. I don't think, like, every single time we ever go out, like, Sarah will get the dinner sometimes. You know what I mean? We're also 2 years in. But, like, I'm not saying, like, for every guy here to be like, no, dude, if there's 100 grocery bags, you carry 100 and your girl just walks. Like, to me, I'm like, that's overkill.
No, yeah,
you know what I mean?
there's
like,
a middle ground
sure,
there.
but I just mean like some of the things that like I think a man should do. Obviously, be a provider, physically compliment his girl. Like I tell you all the time, I think how pretty you are.
Yes, he does.
Carry the heavy stuff, open the car door, buy the dinners. And I just noticed, like, what is it, Gen Z, and now it's like Gen Alpha, the generation behind us, it's becoming a lot softer. Like, objectively, I think it's a lot softer. And I think men, us as a whole, need to figure out ways to be more men and not kids. Like, one of the people I listen to all the time, his name's Ed Milet. He's like, some boys never become men. Like, there's 80-year-old boys out there. And what he means by that is their maturity level and the way they carry themselves and look out for others, especially women, is very childlike. And I was like, that's actually really good. Like, there are men out there that will die before ever becoming a man.
Right.
What it means to be a man, different for everyone, different interpretation. I'm not saying how you can or can't or should or shouldn't be a man, but I am saying I feel like there are some pretty obvious things that men should do that I notice a lot of them don't, like open the car door, help with the groceries, get the check, be a protector. Hey,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, when anywhere in large crowds, lead the way. So,
do you think another one too? I want your opinion on it. And again, a grain of salt here, and also goes both ways. Do you think, as generations have gone on, the way men speak to women,
huge,
have been different? Like cursing at them, yelling at them, kind of treating them like a bro, like when they're mad, you know? And again, women should never do that to their man either. No one should be cursing at anyone, in my opinion, or demeaning anybody. But, humans would fight, emotions happen, I get it. But I think there's been a big shift in how a man will talk around a woman these days. Oh,
totally. That's actually a way better call out than even my question. Yeah, definitely. Men are so much more out of pocket to women, like so rude. The things they say, like they should get their ass kicked for it, honestly. And to call myself out, when I was in college, I was a total douche. Like, honestly, I was. Like, when I was drunk, I would swear, I would cuss. I wouldn't care who was around, if there was women around. Like, I definitely, like, I look back at my younger self, I'm like, dude, that was disgusting, Obviously, alcohol was involved. I was younger. You learn from your mistakes. I don't ever speak like that anymore around women or to women. But the reality is, especially in college, I feel like there's this culture of, like, you're just partying, chicks are just being chicks, like, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. And then that culture breeds out, and then it, like, if you don't check it, it carries you. And then you think about the music you listen to. I honestly love hip-hop. I do. But even a lot of hip-hop, like, I know you're not the biggest fan of the new stuff, which I don't blame you for. But, like, the way they talk about the women in it, right? Like, it's just super degrading, disrespectful.
Yeah.
I'm also not a pastor. I'm not saying, like, hey, you can't cuss or whatever, teach their own. But I will say that, like, a lot of the music doesn't even have meaning behind it. Like, I love Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar tells a story, right? Drake, which some people like Drake, I honestly think he makes some good music. I know they had their beef. But one of the things Kendrick was talking about in their beef is, like, Drake sexualizes everything. Every chick's just a hoe. It's all about strip clubs and making money. And it's like, yeah, that lifestyle is obviously contagious. And I'm sure there's 1,000,005 dudes that would be like, yeah, I want that lifestyle too. There's no judgment. I'm just saying that, like, if that's your persona, if that's your depth, then you become pretty shallow. And if the top people in the industry and in the world are making that kind of music, then it's going to breed on the generation. Like
popularity.
Like, think about like Tupac and Biggie. They're no saints either, but even them, they had some crazy music, like, that was like very gang related or violent, but then they had some like Make a Change, what's that song with Tupac and Dr. Dre?
And
like,
it was also hardships in life and emotional mental health and struggles too.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they spoke with an actual story. Like, Kendrick Lamar speaks with an actual story. So, yeah, I think there's so many things. Pop culture rubs off on kids now where it's almost more okay. Yeah. Parents don't check their kids because if they yell at them, they go to jail now. That's what I'm saying. The world's so soft. You like give your kid a spanking and then you go to jail. Child Protective Services comes to your house and says, like, oh, you beat your kid, you have to go to jail.
And that's why all of this is a grain of salt, right? It's like, you don't need to go so extreme with it. If you show frustration, that's fine. Discipline and consequences, okay.
But these are just thoughts I have.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think a lot of the world is getting soft. and I'll stand by that.
You go, babe.
Come at me in the comments.
You're such a man.
No, oh, that's cringe. That was cringe right there. But no, good question. I do really think that a lot of how men talk to women and how they think about women has been super, almost like lustfully, what's the word? Attached into a lot of young men in their 20s. Mm-hmm. And so I'd like the answer. It's like, well, what's the answer to that? I think being more mindful. Even like I did this the other day, I told you this. I've done this from time to time. But even with me, like on social media, like I'm like, dude, there's so many people I follow, even girls, right? Sarah knows this, but I'm like, I'm never going to talk to these girls again, like most of them. So I'm like, why would I follow them? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no benefit to it. And yeah, I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm not DMing them. There's no scandalism, but it's just, even I thought about it. I'm like, well, I have a girlfriend. I've had her for 2 years. Some of these girls I'll never even see again. They're not my friends. I just knew them in college. Like, being more mindful is what I'm trying to get at. And even by doing that, one, I just feel even more like cleansed, you know? I'm like, you know, there's just toxicity. Mm-hmm. But two, it actually made me appreciate you even more. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that follow me on Instagram. Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. But 1,500 people's a decent amount of followers. And I'm like, how many of these people do I actually know? You know what I'm saying? How many of these people do I even have a relationship with? It's honestly less than probably 150. But I still have I still follow like 800 people. So being mindful and actually having conversations and being aware of how you treat your girl or how you treat women or how you think about women is, I think, an answer to a kind of like a, what's the word? Childish boy-like mind. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it differentiates a boy from a man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Okay, next topic. The mental health benefits of being a dog owner.
Ooh. I think a benefit of being a dog owner, especially if you're on your own and you don't have any help and you are solely in charge of the animal, responsibility. Mm-hmm. It gives you not only just responsibility, but again, a sense of purpose and drive to take care of something, to keep something alive in a survival sense, but also emotionally too, because you're developing emotional connection with your animal. But yeah, I think it brings a bunch of great benefits of being a pet owner. For me, I live by myself. I have 2 dogs. They live with my mom, but they're not in my apartment with me. So I'm super lonely when I come home. I have nobody here. Like, I don't have a roommate. I don't have a dog. So I always tell him, I'm like, can I just borrow Cooper?
Yeah, and you have.
And we've been doing joint custody lately with Cooper.
Joint custody, yeah.
But
going to court.
If I had an animal, I think mentally, oh my God, I'm not isolated anymore. I'm not lonely. I'd have a companion.
Yeah.
So they bring a lot of companionship. Like, dogs are what do they say? Man's best friend. For a reason, and emotionally. Like,
cats are for women.
Connected. No, dogs.
Sorry, this is a way better spot.
But yeah, I think it has tremendous mental health benefits.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the things that I've noticed with like you and Cooper is she's right though. We're actually co-parenting because Cooper loves Sarah. That's definitely mom, and I'm definitely dad. Like, I lay down the law, and she's like, "You gotta stop yelling at him.
Stop it! Don't yell at him. We didn't mean to
like
peel him."
The other day, he's done it too.
He didn't mean to eat my phone.
Yeah, he's eating a couple of pairs of her shoes, and socks. He's a weirdo. He's got a foot fetish. Yeah, but he's like, he ran through her screen the other day, and I was so pissed. I'm like, Cooper, and she's like, he doesn't know, because I do have to think in the moment. He's a dog. He's not a human. But he did it through my dad's, which is worse. My dad. Do you see my dad got a new screen? Mm-hmm. My dad bought a new screen. Cooper went to go run out thinking to get water. And it happened so fast I couldn't stop him.
He was just so excited.
He ran through it, like ripped the whole screen out. And that screen's been there for like 15 years. And even my dad was like, Cooper. So he means well. If you've ever seen the show Marley and Me, Cooper's for sure Marley. But he means well. And so, yeah, we love him. But I think about that. I watch a lot of these TikToks on like dogs, honestly. It's like, people might be like, what?
No, me too.
But it's addicting. And
it makes
the
me
algorithms.
want to pet my dogs when I watch them.
Well, it makes you just honestly appreciate them more and realize that they're a dog, they're not a person. And like, I'll come home from work, I'll be stressed out, I'll be whatever, tired. He's just so excited to see me, right? He doesn't care if I sold or not. He doesn't care if I did a good presentation at work. he doesn't care about any of that. He just is stoked to see me. And
They're so pure.
They are. And like he'll cuddle with me. Like all he wants from me is love. You know what I mean? So I've been like looking into that more lately because I listened to this podcast by DJ Shipley, who's like a retired Navy SEAL, super decorated, like combat vet, like done it all in the SEALs for SEAL Team 6, which is like the elite of the elite. And he talked about when he was doing shoulder recovery after he got out of the SEALs, like he got medically discharged after 17 years. They'd have dog therapy. It's like literally the dogs would just come in and just like jump in and lay on him. And he's like, dude, it feels so good. Like just having a dog, just loving you.
Yeah, they had that at the jail I used to work at.
Oh, really?
Yep.
They brought him in?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
They would do that like once every couple months. They would just bring like an ESA dog.
Yeah.
And go put them in the pods with all the inmates. And the inmates would like line up because they would get them
to
up.
Pet them?
Uh-huh. And they would all like stand in a line and the dog would just make its rounds just walking through the line to have the inmates pet them. And like they loved it. The inmates were so excited to go like pet the dog. So they do that for a reason because it's so emotionally like rewarding. It releases dopamine. It's like the same thing when you see a baby. Yeah. It's like, oh, look at your little baby. It's like the same chemicals go off when you see a dog. Like, oh, look how cute the dog is. Like it's emotionally the same thing.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Like, it's kind of weird that the human brain is like just objectively like thinks, oh, dogs are adorable, babies are.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of
well, because you know some people like don't like dogs.
Yeah.
So it's not like concrete with
These are
everyone.
weirdos. We know who you are.
Yeah, some people. Yeah, I know.
Natalie, cousin Natalie, you're a psycho.
She gets disgusted.
But she loves Cooper actually.
Yeah,
remember?
she likes Cooper.
So Cooper.
So I guess
make
it's
you believe
like
her.
it's a spectrum. It's a variation depending on what the dog looks like. Like if I saw a dog that was like, you know those like rat dogs.
Yeah, a
that
Chihuahua.
Have no hair. Well, that too. Like I'm not gonna look at a Chihuahua.
Not a Chihuahua fan.
And be like, oh my goodness, it's a Chihuahua. I'd kind of be like, oh, it's annoying. Like get away from me.
It's like a cat.
So
it's like a fat cat that can't
think it
jump.
Depends. A fat cat that can't jump. See, I think that's cute though. I have a thing for
fat
cats.
cat that can't jump.
I love chubby animals.
It's a little fat cat.
Yes.
A chubby cat.
Yeah, just little chubs. No, yeah, I mean, cats are a different breed though. Cats are just pick and choose if they want to be your friend or not. But yeah, dogs are the best. If you don't have a dog, I will say this from my own experience. Yeah, get one, but it's actually gonna, especially if you live by yourself or you don't really have roommates.
Take it from me. Yeah,
take it from me. You're gonna learn how to be a parent basically. And it's not even to the same level. We're not parents yet. But when I got Cooper, I thought it'd be way easier than it was. Like training, shots, $1,000 I spent on him, making sure he doesn't eat. He's like, used to eat my bed set, peed himself, pooped himself, threw up, bathing him. And I do think I could always be a better dog owner, but I do think compared to some dogs I've seen, I think he's got a pretty good life. Like I really do try. I have routines even with him. I get up, first thing I do, brush my teeth, and then I take him out to play. And then we'll go, I'll come back, give him his water, put on some TV. You actually taught me that. Like put on some like cartoons. Dogs actually love cartoons, which is crazy. They're like kids.
Literally, we came home one day and Cooper was on the couch watching SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Like full on watching the screen.
I mean, how do you know?
Like this.
Patrick, the higher the pinky, the fancier you are.
You do, Patrick, very
Too
well.
I have the same amount of brain cells
It's
as
like
him.
you are him.
I know. It's my spirit animal, Patrick Star. But Cooper but he's a great dog. But it's taught me a lot about raising an animal and like being compassionate and patience. And I'm still learning. That's why I'm glad I have you here. But yeah, anyone that doesn't have a dog, this is your call to go get a dog. Try and rescue one if you can. But if you get a purebred, you get a purebred. Purebreds are sick. Like awesome. My mom has a purebred. Actually, she has 2 purebreds. You have purebreds.
Yeah.
Cooper was $50. Cooper, I rescued him at Humane Society.
You'd think they'd be more expensive if they're a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's more special. They're
true.
Yeah, but I guess
life half full. And then the last thing I kind of wanted to talk about, which is, once again, this podcast has no rhyme or reason, just thoughts. Maybe that should be the new intro, like just thoughts. But I think there's a lot of benefits of doing life with your coworkers. Mm-hmm. Working at Sunrun with the dozen plus people I consider like really good friends. I was thinking about this the other day. All those people that are in like leadership, and even some that aren't, but in like what's called Next, are like really good friends of mine. Like we party together. We more importantly go to the beach together. We watch football together. we do lunch, we do dinners, and you're actually starting to get exposed to that too. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things I actually want to ask you is, what are you looking forward to most when you move to San Diego and work with your coworkers, and how has it been not having anyone really to talk to or socialize with currently?
Yeah, so I work, so I'm a therapist. I do private practice, and for the longest time, I was the only therapist in that office.
Yeah.
So I had...
How many months? 6?
Up and 6 July.
Half a year just by yourself, really.
Yeah. So it was. There's benefits to it because it's, like I get to blast my music around the office, take my shoes off, like
fart
lay on
wherever you want. Like in the waiting room, like the guy's like, God, it smells in here. It's because
imagine. It's so bad they wouldn't come back.
Yeah.
But it was lonely. Pros and cons again. Like the cons were that it's lonely, and I had nobody to talk to, especially then when I came home to an empty house with no roommates, no dog. It was 10 times more lonelier. Mm-hmm. So once they hired another therapist, I've been, getting more social with them. And I think a big part of coworkers, what makes it special, is they're not just regular friends. They can become regular friends, but I think it's a special bond because that person is relating to you to a certain area. Not a lot of people can.
Yeah.
My therapist friends are very different than my childhood friends.
Yep.
I would never talk therapy to my childhood friends because they don't get it.
Yep.
But someone who also does what I do, we bond, we vent, we get closer, we support each other because we know how hard it is. And same thing like the grind with solar. Your childhood friends are never gonna, some of them don't know the grind of solar. But even me, I don't know the grind of solar. So you talk probably more to them about certain things with work than you would to anyone else.
Right.
So it's a special bond with coworkers because it's a relationship a lot of people wouldn't have with someone else. So that's what makes it so special. So it's good. I think it's very good to work with coworkers.
I think it's good too, just for like stress levels, because like you're my best friend. I know you feel the same way about me. But there's still a level of like, you don't fully understand door-to-door sales. Right. I don't fully understand therapy. I have a really good idea of it, as do you with my job. But there's a different level of bonding and connection like you talked about. And now I notice too, I love it. You have group chats and you're like texting. I look like she'll be texting one of her coworker friends like paragraphs of just tea or gossip.
We're like, oh my God, did you see that shit that happened today?
They're like, Stevie is so suicidal. Just kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. We gotta crack jokes here and there, but no, honestly, I think one of the
Stevie.
I don't know, just someone that's not real. That's not a real person. Okay, no one freak out.
Stevie watch this and be like, "What the fuck?"
It's like this is my therapy spot. I'm out of here. No, I'm just kidding. No, and we won't even name drop because it's it's your privacy. But the company Sarah works for has got really good people. Even the management, I've never got to meet them personally, but phenomenal group of people that work there. But I think the things that I think about and how it applies to my own life is we always talk about door-to-door versus therapy, and more importantly, my company versus hers. She has a great company. It's just that she doesn't have anybody really working with her at the office.
Yeah.
And I remember you put things in perspective. She's like, babe, for you, because she talks about like when I would leave, and I'll hear your perspective too, but when I would leave after we'd spend like a weekend together like we're doing now, it's honestly, I'm not lonely. I miss her, but like I got my dog. I go to meetings twice a week with 50 to 100 people. I do stuff outside of work with my coworkers. I went golfing with one of them just the other day out of the blue. We're at Grant's house doing leadership training from 7 to 11 on Friday night. So it's like I get way more time and exposure with my friends, which are my coworkers, than she does. And it's crazy because I almost took it for granted, like unconsciously or subconsciously, until she said that. And it made me really appreciate, one, the people I work with, but two, the amount of time I get to be around them. Like one of the things she's talked about, and I'm going to open it up to you in a second here, babe, but is that you're looking forward to, one of the things you're looking forward to most in San Diego is being able to spend time with your friends without me being there, like you said. And my friends, like Pia,
Yeah, no, 100%.
The girls that I work with.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to that because... And like when you would go on, like, say, like you leave my house, then you'd go and you'd go out to the bars or something with your friends. And I'm not like upset about it. Like, go for it. I'm glad you're having fun. But then I'd be like, in a way, envious because I'm like, I want that. Like, I want to be able to go have a girls' night. And not that I can't. I have friends here, but everyone's so busy and I don't work with them. So I don't see them it takes more power to like plan.
Yeah.
Whereas when you work with someone, you see them every day, whether you want to or not. So it's easy to just go get lunch or something. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And like, yeah, of course we have our group of people, but to be able to go out and be like, I'll see you later. Like, I know I'm coming home to you, and that's what makes me happy. But like, then I get to go have a couple hours with the girls, and it's more independent. And I feel so codependent for that reason right now, because I miss you so much when you leave, because I don't have the socialness you do. So I'm like, oh, like I wish I was there. Like, how fun, you're out with again. And then I'm staying at home watching Love is Blind by myself with chips and a high noon.
Chips are great friends. High noon's a better one.
So I'm excited to be able to do that with you, and also like alongside of you and without you too.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, social circles, right? They're so important, especially in your job. And it's sometimes, right, there's jobs I get people don't love where they're like, I need to separate. Like I knew people that worked with us at Sunrun that are no longer here, which is fine for one reason or another, but they're like, I can't hang out with the same people I work with. For them, that's fine. I love that because I'm like, this is a family. I love being part of a family. I love being part of a group. Like, to me, team, that's like really important to me. And I think it's important to most people. So for you, I'm really excited too that I come home and you're like, hey, I'm taking off with the girls. I'm like, hell yeah, go have fun. Because I've never really seen that. You know, it's like once every 2 months, she might be like, hey, I'm hanging out with Jana and Kat tonight, and I'll come the next day or whatever. And I actually do want you to have that more. So
yeah, I
guess like the message or something that I've learned is how important and how grateful you should be if you work with people that you consider friends and that you spend time with them outside of work. Most people don't have that. Either they don't have the ability physically to be in proximity to them like Sarah, or they work with people they don't really like. So I'm lucky enough to have neither. I love the people I work with, and I see them all the time. So those are kind of my thoughts. But this is going to wrap up another episode of the Betterment Podcast. Every week we're doing iterations. So like this week we turned the lights sideways. I sat on the couch instead of like sitting on this little woody thing and like putting my head out like this. But anyway, yeah, any feedback you guys have, DM me or text me on how we can make this podcast more entertaining, more conversational, and things we can do to tweak it to make it more like professional. But other than that, babe, as always, thanks for being on here, partner in crime.
Thank you for having me, as always. Happy to be here.
Love you. And thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode. Like I said, for the month of October, we're dropping one podcast every Monday. So when this releases, go crush your week. Go have an awesome week. Share this with a friend or a family member. And hey, bad day to be a podcast. Talk soon.